And a pleasant, how do you do? What's going on, people? Live on Twitter, Twitch, where else are we? YouTube, you name it. Every platform we have covered here on the Wednesday edition of Live Q&A with Wob. What's happening, beautiful people? You're going to have to bear with me through this episode, by the way, because the timing was unfortunate that I'm having groceries delivered and just happened to pick like the exact 30-minute window the shopping is occurring while the stream is going on. So if I seem distracted, it's because I'm just keeping an eye on this and I have to manage it in case items like my Fairlife milk are not available. We've all been there before. But anyways, we got the draft tonight, people. There's going to be some pretty major transactions which occur here in the near future. I imagine got some questions for me. Got a pretty good education on the show today from we had Ryan McDonough, the former general manager of the Phoenix Suns, who was in the front office with the Boston Celtics during their title run as well, the Angels. Just kind of getting us up to speed on what to expect in the process that occurs when a night like this happens and the way that the war room is moving around. You know, it's going to be pretty hectic here. And I have to think that the main characters involved in tonight's draft are going to be the Celtics, the Nets, and who else? Those are the two that stand out to me. And Oklahoma City is going to be making some moves too, because I don't think they want to take on all those first-round picks without roster spots, because they had Topic out for the entire year anyway. He's coming back, their lottery pick from last year. Let me get the chat up. Hold on. Let me move this over here. Okay, now I can see you guys. What's up? Talk to me. What's good? Hey, a positive Wob comment. Wow, Pelham Corey says, "Go." Thanks, bro. Are you from Pelham, New York? The Pelham Pelicans, the high school? We played them in basketball all the time. Ellie De La Cruz. As the Mets falter here in June, I always have to find someone to cheat on them with. It was Shohei Ohtani for a while. It's still Shohei, and now I feel like I'm cheating on my side piece. But Ellie De La Cruz is so good. No one that big should be that fast. And no one that big should have a Rafael Furcal arm at shortstop. He has a hose. He is electric. Oh, my God. I will watch Reds games just for him. So, yeah, while the Mets just do Mets things and get swept by the Braves back-to-back, I need to find some positivity in my life. We'll deal with the Mets when they're eventually going to make the playoffs and do something crazy that sucks you in, because they're not the Mets. They're not the Mets unless they give you some hope before they let you down. They don't just suck. That'd be too simple, too easy. All right. Who should the Bulls take in the draft? Man, I don't know. The Bulls are in that category of teams that oh, is that you? I see you, WFAN. That Fairlife chocolate milk does hit different. Good to see you in here. It's always some random names in here. I always appreciate. All right. The Bulls, the Kings, the Miami Heat. I'm trying to think of these teams that are just stuck in mediocrity. And their fans get frustrated because their ceiling's low. They're not bad, but you know they're a first-round exit at the best every single year. That's a rough place to be, because it doesn't leave much room to get better when you have a DeRozan and a Zach LaVine on the roster with how much money they make. And we spoke about this. I would obviously encourage you to listen to our show, but today's especially because we had three people: Antonio Daniels, former player; Ryan McDonough, former general manager; and myself. I've worked for an NBA franchise before, but on the sales side. And it was funny how this conversation, we were able to all give our experience in separate departments, because we were trying to figure out why some of these teams are like so content with just being a first-round exit. And the answer is you get 2 home games of playoff revenue. And I provided the perspective on what happens for an ownership group with a team that is going to make the playoffs, or doesn't even have to officially make it, if they look like they're going to make the playoffs. Because in ticket sales and sponsorship sales, you can leverage the playoffs into the fans and or clients or business partners into having to renew for next season, put your money down, pay for your tickets. The only way that you get your playoff tickets is if you renew as well. Otherwise, there's like stipulations, and you can go through the separate process of doing them a la carte, but it's difficult. And what they want to do is run your credit card in February because the playoffs start in April. They want to run your credit card in February for the next season. So that adds liquidity and an influx of cash, which is a shit ton of money if you have 15,000 season ticket holders, considering that amount of money per ticket, no matter where it is in the arena. That's a lot of cash. So they will hold that money in escrow, if you will. And then when they make the playoffs, then everyone pays for their playoff tickets, so on and so forth. But if you have a team that's bad, because I've worked for the New Orleans Hornets when they were not making the playoffs. I think Chris Paul might have gotten hurt. You don't have the New Orleans Saints that just won the Super Bowl. So all the attention was focused on the Saints. And then you have to go to the fans and say, do you want to renew your season tickets? And they're like, maybe. I'll let you know in September because we're not going to be in the playoffs and you can't leverage those seats against me. So then the difference between April and September is like 5-6 months that people are not renewing their season seats that far in advance because there's no deadline. Therefore, the ownership group's not getting those millions and millions of dollars and the trickle-down effect from there. So if you are a fan of one of those teams, that seems like a Reinsdorf. It seems to be the case with a lot of the franchises that he owns. It's just kind of this money-making machine that is being constructed to not win a championship, but be a profitable business. And ultimately it's their decision because it's their business. But I have seen the bottom line on how much money those season ticket hold when they run the credit card on the initial deposit for like 25% in February, how much money goes into the escrow account. It's like, oh my God, that all goes into the pockets. That all goes into the free flowing cash that's available to the franchise, the owner, and all their separate business ventures. Mike says, we are here in line at the American Airlines Center in Dallas. Wow, the fans have come around. Have you guys, have you moved on from Luka? Had some closure? Moving on to Cooper Flagg, got Kyrie Irving back at some point this year. That was nice that you were able to restructure his deal. Dallas is without a doubt going to be my dark horse team to win the championship next year, being listed at 41-1 at the moment with AD, Gafford, Lively, Kyrie, Cooper, Max Christie, PJ. Najee Marshall took a big leap last year, being asked to do a lot of stuff. Trevor's asking about the Boston Celtics. This is going to be your main character of the evening tonight. You have the Brooklyn Nets and the Boston Celtics. Ironically enough, it's those two teams once again. Brooklyn Nets have $43 million in cap space. They have 5 first-round picks. They control everything tonight. They have all the leverage, all the assets. The Boston Celtics are stripping down for parts here. They have saved, $260 million in salary and luxury tax in the last, 2.5 days. The next big question is, what do they do with Jaylen Brown and Derek White? Because for all the salary that they have shed, there's still luxury tax. There's still aprons. Jason Tatum's still not coming back. Jaylen Brown was at one point the most expensive contract in NBA history, but he still has value. So there you go. All right. Do I get paid for this? I hope you do. Oh, thanks, 496812GG. What am I keeping an eye on tonight? Oh, are you speaking from a investment perspective? As you can tell, I'm in a good mood because I'm killing it with baseball right now. Let's take a look here, shall we? Tonight I'm on Ace Bailey. So obviously the odds for Cooper Flagg to be drafted #1 is crazy. I am on, there's a whole bunch of props here on ProfitX. let's see, to be drafted. I don't know enough about these end of first round guys, but I did take Ace Bailey. Here we go, top 5 right here. I took him at minus 130 to be drafted in the top 5. And I'm just going to repeat what happened on the show today because Ryan McDonough did interview Ace Bailey at the Combine in Chicago. And because Ryan has done these type of interviews with prospects thousands of times for his job, he's pretty familiar with like the answers that you're going to get, right? I need to work on these areas. I'm looking forward to being in the league. I'll help any team, blah, 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 blah. But something kind of a flag that stood out to him was the way that, because all these people in the draft, they're kids, right? They're like 18 years old, 20 years old. They haven't been around in life enough to be able to always articulate the perfect answer for a media entity or network. So then it's not that if they stutter or they like speak poorly, it's more so a reflection of the way that they are being managed by agents or managers. And Ace Bailey was very comfortable going up there in that interview and saying like, no, I take those shots and I make those shots. Like, I'm going to keep doing that in the league because I take shots and I make shots. And he's very confident in his game, which is nice. But considering who he's being represented by is Sharif Cooper's father, who only, I think, has 2 clients. It's just Sharif Cooper and Ace Bailey, that teams are worried that his representation may be guiding him in a path that is not advantageous for him. So when he starts canceling workouts, he's like, hey, the tape speaks for itself. This is the strategy we're going with. All right, you're good, and you will still get drafted very, very high, but it's going around amongst that all those rumors that you're seeing about Ace Bailey, the chatter that's occurring between general managers, both active and on the sidelines right now, is like, who is this kid being managed by? And is he going to be a problem? Because we have an Uncle Dennis situation occurring with Ace Bailey, but it's not a talent of Kawhi Leonard just yet. But I'm still going to take Ace in the top 5 because what I know about him, he's insanely talented, and this all may be an issue which doesn't come to fruition anyway. So we'll see. Talking NBA says your bold prediction for the draft tonight is Philadelphia will trade the 3rd pick. And there's rumors going around that they're in the market to trade Paul George as well. I think Philly will make the biggest move of the night. That's my will make the most like, oh, that's a big trade. That's a big transaction. I think they will be the ones. I don't know if it's going to involve anything that happens tonight. It's going to involve Brooklyn or Oklahoma City as well. They're going to be partners in these trades, but I will go with Philly moving out of the 3 spot, potentially moving a Paul George and acquiring a major piece somewhere else. Farmers asking thoughts on the Clippers possibly blowing it up. The roster is aging very badly. They played their 1 season in the new stadium. I'm not there. I mean, they looked. I mean, that series against the Denver Nuggets was an absolute war. Ivica Zubac's evolution is very apparent. I understand that Harden and Kawhi aren't getting any younger, but they also looked good. Other than that game 7 in Denver, was that a game 7 or a game 6 when they got blown out? The game 7, I think. No, I'm definitely keeping the band together here. Is there an actual chance the Mavs trade number 1? It doesn't. I don't know why. I don't know why they would do that. Who are you bringing in? And the thing about Cooper Flag is he's not only this guaranteed talent, but he's also on a rookie deal. Yes, a number 1 pick makes a lot of money, but he's on a guaranteed deal that you have control of for pretty much the next decade and change. So the player that you bring in is likely going to be a superstar who's under contract for 2-3 years and then can be an unrestricted free agent or have a player option or something like that. No, I'm not trading a decade's worth of control of Cooper Flag for pretty much anyone unless they are an MVP candidate. Is Giannis moving tonight? Well, apparently I've pissed off Bucks Nation with some meme that I tweeted out, which they didn't understand. Of course, no one on Twitter has reading comprehension to read anything other than literally. It was the second apron, and I think Giannis. They should trade Giannis at some point. You want to talk about a team that's going to drown in mediocrity? Like, have you seen the Bucks' books right now? It's $171 million committed. It's $171 million committed to like 9 something players. Dame's out. Giannis is making a ton, obviously. He's under contract. But with Pat Connaughton opting in, Bobby Portis has a player option. It's like, what the hell are we doing? Who are we signing? Brook Lopez is probably going to leave. Who the hell is even available? You have no assets to trade. Going to battle with Giannis and 4 guys that you start off your NBA 2K team with before you buy VC and add the sliders in, bunch of like 55 overalls, is a guaranteed play-in tournament first round exit. And Giannis is going to remain loyal, but behind the scenes, he's going to be disgruntled. And you're going to get to the deadline and probably not get a deal that's as sweet as the one that maybe San Antonio or Houston can offer now. So for me, the state of Texas, once we get through the draft, the state of Texas then controls free agency with Houston and San Antonio in prime spots to make a major move. Even Houston, in addition to Kevin Durant, has a ton of assets available to them. Because if you're going Giannis hunting to pair him with Kevin Durant, it's going to require Amen Thompson. It's just the truth. They're not going to, they have to find a way to, they're not going to go 50 cents on the dollar with Giannis under contract for 3 years. So it's going to cost you Amen Thompson. It's going to cost you Reed Shepard. It's going to cost you a lot. But then you'll have Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo on your team alongside a Şengün or whoever is left over. And by the way, if you're a Bucks fan watching this, like hundreds of comments, people think I don't know. I spend all day studying, analyzing, and speaking about the collective bargaining agreement on NBA radio. Like, I don't know. Of course, the Bucks have been under the apron. Every team I put on the damn meme is under the second apron. Duh. Use your brains. The second apron will come for them. It broke up the team earlier this year, and it will be the reason why Giannis gets inevitably traded. And now every single person in that comment section, I'm going to have to screen record and drop in the choir, and I'm going to have to do one of those memes again because Bucks Nation can't think for itself. Let's see. Will any team trade for Bradley Beal? The Suns. It's the worst contract in the league. He has a no trade clause. He will decide whatever he wants to do next as long as that contract is on the books. Need a good wobspiracy about the NBA gifting the Mavs the #1 pick. No, I mean, the obvious one is because you help the Lakers, we'll give you the #1 pick. It's just, it's not worth the NBA as fun as it was, not is, but was to think about or brainstorm conspiracy theories. Because the problem now is everyone actually believes them, so it's not fun to joke about. But back then, when you're messing around, the theory was helping the Lakers out. Here's the #1 pick. But they would be subject to billions of dollars worth of fraud if they were doing that behind the scenes. Like, they would get sued by every owner, every governor, every entity, every partner. This is all rigged. Like, they're opening themselves up to the destruction of the league because they want to thank the Mavericks. Like, that makes no sense realistically. But if we're willing to have a fun conversation about it, that's what we used to do here. I'm open to it. Do I have any insider sources indicating smoke around the Grizzlies? No, I do not. Sorry. Ghost Sound says, keep seeing rumors that Bam could go to the Kings. There's going to be rumors all night. All night, people. This is the Super Bowl of agents and front office executives leaking things to the media to get them to report it and create leverage. I would say 10% of what you read is actually going to be true. But remember, every single report Every single report has a reason for getting leaked, and it's up to you to decipher the reasons as to why. How did you find yourself running a Reds burner? Story for another day. What was I doing? Oh, my Reds burner back in like 2017, 2018. I was running the social media accounts for a company, and I forgot to switch between the two. That's why those tweets came from Worldwide Wob instead of the company's tweets. Why would the Hawks be in on PG plus number 3, Jalen Johnson? Yeah, I don't know, honestly, how they make that work. It feels like a third team type deal. And remember, a lot of these teams, they have all their money committed. A lot of these teams just don't have the flexibility of either aggregating contracts. They might have to match dollar for dollar because they have all their stars on the books. And this is one of the products of the NBA not going to unrestricted free agency, where we used to kick the legs out on our lazy boy, grab the popcorn and be like, it's 6 p.m., let the deals begin. And then your phone starts going crazy because Woj and Shams are dropping like transaction after transaction. And it's like, oh, who got who's signing with who? It's signing day. Everyone's under contract now because of the extensions and taking care of their business in advance. The biggest unrestricted free agent, honestly, is like a Brooke Lopez this year. So the days of the Boys and Girls Club of Greenwich, Connecticut with the decision and LeBron, I don't think you're going to see perennial superstars going to UFA anymore. Now, with that said, does it weird anyone out that we haven't heard from LeBron yet about his option? Usually we get some sort of smoke about what LeBron is going to do. But his option is due in 4 days, and we have heard nothing. Just saying, he's got a player option. He usually opts out and then signs the 1+1 so that he can continue to have that leverage and that guarantee. But we haven't heard anything. He's kept this one really under wraps. And Luka's doing extension too at some point. Just what are we kind of waiting on here? The Wob Old Hickory Jack says the Wob sarcasm didn't come through again. I mean, I think it's more of just a generational difference on Twitter now, because it's Gen Z who's on there. All the millennials have kind of graduated to having families and being off the internet and stuff. So it's just a different user on there. And Gen Z has a problem with reading everything literally, without considering it to ever be like sarcasm will just fly over their heads. Like sarcasm is a language that might as well be Mandarin to them. And they read everything literally, headlines, and that's the clickbait of headlines. They don't read the actual articles. So it's that instant like reaction that they see. For example, the Milwaukee Bucks meme last night. My explanation for why the Bucks are next, because technically I had Bucks reporters text me and DM me like, we think you got this meme wrong. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. This bothered you enough that you had to text me about this? Like, shouldn't they be one of the doors that's already been dragged out? And I'm like, not yet. Not until Giannis is out of there. They are not dead until Giannis gets traded. And then the second apron effect of trying to keep that team together, considering how much Dame and Giannis are due to make. They had to trade Middleton. I understand why they did it, but they're knocking on the door. The second apron is knocking on the door. And because you were unable to win another championship with Giannis on the roster and assembling that big three, it is almost impossible to keep those complementary, ancillary, supplementary pieces around your big three because of the second apron. How is this so difficult to figure out? Look what happened to the Denver Nuggets. Team wins its title, and they had to watch KCP, Bruce Brown, Jeff Green all walk out the door because they take care of Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray. They have some guys in the funnel that Calvin Booth had drafted, but they had to let those veteran role players go because they didn't want to go soaring into the second apron with all the penalties and freezing of draft picks that's associated with it. And then you become a multiple time like repeater tax offender that goes up to 7x, 8x Celtics owe that much money for a reason. That was the intention of my meme, but nobody gets it. I mean, well, obviously people do because it had a shit ton of likes, but Bucks fans see that as like an attack on their homeland. We've been invaded by the national media. And they're like, we're not in the second apron, idiot. I'm like, neither of these teams in the damn picture, idiots. I don't know, Bobby. It's just become part of me, like the mask in Jim Carrey. I Full Kissed says, does any team exist that Bradley Beal would approve that would actually make sense for the Suns? It's like, he's just going to say no because he probably likes living in Phoenix. He's got his family there. Why would I want to get up and move? Getting paid a shit ton of money to come out here and play 20 minutes a night and do my thing. My family's happy. I'm going to play out my contract. You traded for me. You knew I had the no trade clause. This is the leverage that Bradley Beal has that not even a Giannis or a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, like he has more leverage than any player in the league. And he's holding the Suns hostage because they would have traded Beal before they traded Durant if they could have. Could the Suns move the 10 pick tonight? What would a potential package look like? Of course. I mean, anything's on the line. Anything's available. There's so many rumors. There's so many possibilities. Just know that the Brooklyn Nets are going to be involved. Once again, 5 first-round picks, $43 million in cap space. They're the only team that can take on deals. That's why they brought in Terrence Mann, because they had a first pick attached to it. We'll absorb that contract. He's not even that bad of a player. He's maybe even a net positive. And we'll take your deals that you want to get off the books and give us a first-round pick so that we can really go star hunting. Could we see a Jaylen Brown involved? Eat them up. I've been on the problem for these Bucks fans is I've been on the internet too long. So I have like iron in my blood. There's nothing you can say that's going to make me lose a minute of sleep, either positively or negatively. I've seen it all. I've been through too much. I know exactly what I was doing creating that meme. It is a very sharp and smart meme. And of course, it's going to fly over the heads of a rabid fan base with a hive mentality that they see someone else within the Bucks community respond and call me an idiot, and that's a gateway for them to add their comment, their ratio, because someone else did it first. It's just the way the internet works. I don't give a shit, and all you're doing is just getting me paid more and more, so I don't care. So please, by all means, keep dunking on me. Vegan Barbie in the chat. What's good? T-Man is good. I'm pretty sure he's from Brooklyn, so that's quaint. Yeah, little homecoming. That's why I thought Anthony Simons would end up in Orlando. Going to high school there, playing his ball. But Desmond Bane worked out well. That Eastern Conference is so soft. So soft. Especially with Boston stripping down from parts. It's going to be Knicks, Cavs, Pistons, Sixers, Magic. And then what? Like, who's going to be the 6, 7, 8 seeds in the East? Woof. The Heat, the Hawks, the Bulls. What do I think the Spurs will do tonight? I think they'll package those picks together. I think Giannis will end up on the Spurs at some point. That is my Houston's going to try, but no one has a better package than San Antonio. I don't have any information. I'm just thinking out loud. So no need to aggregate this. It's just an instinct. They have so many assets, man. They could put together, because Milwaukee's going to say, well, we're trading Giannis, which means we're trading a walking, breathing economy. And our city is going to lose money because people are not spending as much when the games, they're not attending as much. You know, Giannis is on all the billboards that they're going to have to take down. So why the Spurs? Because the Spurs can replenish a lot it can expedite your rebuilding process by sending Steph Castle, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Harrison Barnes, multiple first-round picks. That's a pretty decent return, honestly. And then you have 4 guys that are in the middle of their own learning the rebuild process in San Antonio right now, alongside Victor Wembanyama. And then the Spurs have Giannis, De'Aaron Fox, and Wemby. I mean, that's by far the number one competitor to the Oklahoma City Thunder for me. It has been awfully quiet today. I haven't seen, usually there's some trading in advance of the draft. I haven't seen anything all day. It is way too quiet out here. Noah in the chat, don't know if you talked about it yet, but Drew getting bought out. No, Drew, do you know how many years Drew has left? That buyout would be crazy. That's got to be one of the biggest buyouts ever. And when you buy someone out, that it's not the amnesty clause. That buying out, that you're still committed to that money on the books. That would really shock me. I don't know how that gets done. Is there anything else that you guys would recommend for tonight? I know I was on Ace Bailey, by the way, but can you guys in the chat give me up to speed on, I know Malawak and I know Knuppel from Duke, unfortunately. Learned a lot about Edgecombe today. We had an exclusive interview with him. Minus 1,000. Ryan McDonough seems to think that VJ Edgecombe is going to go number 3. Oh, you know what? Let's do that. Let's put a little money on Edgecombe to go number 3. Let's see. Okay, that's top 1. 4th overall. Why is there no 3rd overall pick? There's 2 and there's 4. Where's number 3? That's a shame. Is there more down here? Bummer. Am I missing it? No. I don't know. I think Edgecombe's going to go 3 based on my radio partner's feedback. Ghost Silencer says, with all the talk of expansion, is there a set time, by the way, when teams would be announced an expansion draft? I imagine the expansion draft in CBA will create a lot of strategy. So first of all, Ghost Silencer, thanks for the question. This summer at Summer League, it's going to be the first major step. So nothing should even be thought about until we have the official recommendation from Adam Silver to the Board of Governors, which is going to occur at Summer League. So the governors will vote if they want to take the next step, which is an official, put it on the docket, expansion vote. So the recommendation first, then the vote. There's anticipation that the owners are going to say yes. And do you know why the owners are going to say yes to all of you out there? They're going to say yes because that money in expansion fees is split between the 30 league owners. It is not included in the BRI that was negotiated between the Players Association and the NBA. That 50-50 split that they locked out over small percentage points because of how much that's worth. So with the Celtics selling for $6.1 billion, the Lakers at $10 billion, the NBA is going to say, you want an expansion franchise? You want the Seattle Sonics? You want the Las Vegas whatevers, the Mexico City whatevers? It's going to cost you $6 billion. 2 expansion teams at $6 billion divided by, 6 times 2, $12 billion divided by 30 teams. That goes straight into the owners' pockets. Now, BRI is going to be cut from 1/30th to 1/32, 1/32nd, as opposed to 1/30th because there's 2 extra owners. But you'll be compensated with a giant, I don't know, like $500 million check. That's why they're going to vote yes. Now, the timing on it, could it be like 2028? That I don't know. But we'll find out more details here in the very near future, but focus on each individual step, which is the recommendation to the Board of Governors Committee. Remember when I said that the Thunder would win Game 7 by exactly 12? How much did they win by? I forgot I said that. What did they win by in Game 7? Did they win by 12? was a 103.91. Holy shit, I hit it on the number. It's pretty impressive. I wish someone would have reminded me of that. Well, because what did I say? I thought it was going to qualify as a clutch game. I guess that wasn't true. But I had OKC by 12 points because the spread was like 7.5. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But it's hard to hit it right on the number. 103.91. Hey, occasionally a blind squirrel finds a nut. Did I say that anywhere else? I did. I said it on Sirius XM. Why did I think of that? Thanks, Chad. I said it on every platform that I have a show, and I didn't even realize I nailed it on the number. But I had OKC in 5. So that was wrong. I guess it's just more impressive when you hit it exactly on the number. OKC won in 7. I had them in 5. What else is on your mind, people? Talk to me. Well, that's part of the problem. I saw there was a comment in there about another comment on Wob sarcasm. So there's people on Twitter who've been following me and don't even know what I look like for like years. So that means they don't know anything about me. And everything they consume is from a Twitter account with Adam Silver being turned into a cyborg from Terminator. And they probably read that quite literally. So yeah, they wouldn't know the way that I am in real life or how my personality reflects through my content. And the Sith Lord hoodie. Yeah. Like there's only been a couple people throughout time that have put the pieces together on what my avatar really represents. Do you guys understand that Adam Silver was really back in the lockout? That's what it's inspired from. That Adam Silver was the one litigating when David Stern was the face of the NBA lockout. But it was Silver behind the scenes who was, as deputy, was really grinding the gears of the Players Association. I'm like, this guy moves like Palpatine, man. You should catch on to that. Worldwide, instead of Worldwide West, it's Worldwide Wob, where the worldwide part is from Worldwide West. He's the Wizard of Oz of the NBA. Why no profile pic rotation anymore? Because Twitter does not allow it to change your picture. If you do it more than once, they put your account on frozen or something. And you have to, every time you change the picture or your name, it has to get approved by someone. It just kind of naturally died like everything else of old Twitter. Do the Suns have any path to the playoffs with Beal deliberately destroying the Suns with his selfishness? It's a little harsh, but sorry, no, they don't. I will always see you as Sith Lord Terminator Adam Silver. Thank you. That's the whole idea. You know how many people don't get the show? And those are the people that get the most mad in the comments, by far. I'm an expert. I'm on level 501 class, not 101, not 201. This is 501 social media when you've been around this long. You have to be able to create content that's engaging enough, but also has substance to it and has an authentic personality there as well. So balancing those things, getting them in the door is a strategy. keeping the algorithm hot so it pumps your content when you're ready to display something that has you own the intellectual property of. You have to have the algorithm toasty so that when you put something out there, it gets in front of people's faces, right? What is the best non-fanatic site for OKC? eBay. eBay. You find some gems on. If you're willing to wait a week for shit to be shipped, eBay's your place. Great deals on eBay. I get everything through eBay. I just got these iPhone cords through eBay. It took an extra week, but it saved me $5 as opposed to Amazon. Principle. I could have had it the next day through Amazon, or I could have waited a week and gotten it for $5 less through eBay. It shouldn't surprise anyone that the gear is very minimalistic. Oh, my groceries are almost here. You guys have successfully kept me busy long enough that what time's the coverage start tonight? Is it in 2 minutes? Or is it start at 8 p.m. Eastern? Oh, groceries are arriving between 4:16 and 4:32. Oh, sweet. Perfect. No, so far I tested this cord is doing quite well. I might even order another one. I did have a really shitty iPhone cord that did try and cook my phone up a little bit. That one came off of eBay too, so you get what you pay for. It's festive. We have boots on the ground at the American Airlines Center in Dallas. Mike says it's festive here at the AAC draft party. Actually, it's a healing party. I like that. Everybody there has the mutual, they've had the closure in that relationship that ended dramatically, Bravo TV style. And you're moving on. You've got met this new girl, about to have a number one pick. How did that work out, man? Gosh, the world is the butterfly effect, man. Nico getting that number one pick saved his ass because Cooper's going to be so good. So good. Is Shams spoiling every pick tonight, or has that been outlawed? So Shams won't spoil, but someone like Mark Stein will because he's not being paid by the league. Like, the league has leverage over Shams because of ESPN being a league partner. The same way Woj was once upon a time told to keep quiet. Anything else, my friends? We have reached the 4 p.m. hour here on the West Coast. Passing out 1.8 t-shirts at the AAC. All right, friends. Well, I think that's going to do it for today's episode. We're trying to keep these around 45 minutes or so. Friday is going to be our last show with the live Q&A. We're going to be packing it up for the summer. And then I will likely be returning the first Monday, Wednesday, Friday of October for when the NBA starts to resurrects itself from the summer. So I hope you tune in on Friday. I'll say hello and goodbye, but it won't be goodbye. It'll be see you later. Yeah, look at that. 16K, 16,000 in here. 16,000 of you. Why listen to me yap. When I do my Bleacher Report show, it's a super young comment section, and they call me the first they think I'm the old man because of the gray in the beard, and I probably really puff out the hair for the shows, the Wolverine, but I'm known as the BR Yapper, is what they're calling me. Oh God, it's the Yapper again. Because I'm doing solo shows for 30 minutes and I'm the only one talking. So there's a lot of yapping, like this show that goes on. Where am I going on vacation? Well, first Summer League, and then after Summer League, I don't know, that doesn't count as vacation. But after Summer League, I'll be in Japan for 2 weeks. And then middle of August, I'll be in Europe for 2 weeks, Greece, Croatia, Budapest, Barcelona, and potentially a visit to the No Name Saloon at some point in between if I'm up for it. Residential Twitter Unc. What's up, Mark? Good to see you. We're chilling. Unfortunately, we're going to sign off here in just a second. But yeah, the trademark for Wolverine or the BR Yapper. I don't even need to trademark it because all the damn commenters in the Bleacher Report app are like, oh God, it's the Yapper. So funny because they just have no clue. They're like half my age. I was thinking about Austria. Vienna was on the list. I just couldn't find, because I'm doing some solo travel. I couldn't justify going to Vienna instead of like Barcelona or something. I got tired. I'm going to have so many flights. And I got one from Croatia to, there's one flight from Croatia to Barcelona direct. And I'm like, you know what? I'm taking that one. Yeah, we'll do the police chases from Tokyo. If I'm awake, the timing is going to be a little funky. We'll do it on replay if we have to. But until then, we do have a draft tonight. Nobody answered my question. Is coverage start now or is it in like an hour? NBA draft start time. 5 p.m. Pacific. Okay. So we're on in like 56 minutes. Go watch some baseball or something until then. Your wife is from out there, so I try and go out as often as possible. I hear you. I bet it is beautiful. I've been to Munich, so that's kind of close to Vienna, I imagine. Spin to Salzburg, too. All right, friends. That's my cue. The dollar is 6-1. Talking about Brazil? I've been to Colombia. I mean, how far the dollar goes in Cartagena? Oh, my God. You go to like a 5-star restaurant, 4-course meal, and it costs, you can leave a double tip. I don't even know if they expect tips down there or not, but you can leave a double tip, meaning 100% of your bill, and it's like 40 American dollars, and you eat and drink like a king. Colombia's, I don't know if I would recommend going right now as opposed to when I went, but they've had some political stuff going on down there. But Cartagena was quite fun, quite nice. Everyone looks good. I was planning to go into Santiago during the All-Star break, but I pivoted to, what did I do instead? What did I do for the All-Star? I can't even remember what I did for the All-Star break. Fuck did I go? I have no clue. Did I stay here? Dude, this is what happens when you get old. You just lose your memory. You have like you have things selectively that you remember. I have no clue what I did during the All-Star break. Sorry. I might have like the early Alzheimer's or something. I'm losing my mind, my memory. I don't mean to joke about it. Yeah, Brazil. No, never been to Brazil. Long ass flight from LA because it's so far east. South America is like Cartagena is on line with, it's central time zone, but it's like in line with Houston. And it's as far west as you go. Brazil is like another time zone east of the East Coast, so it's so far away from me. Oh, Buenos Aires I'd like to go to Buenos Aires and Patagonia, but again, it's so far, and you have to go during the winter because it's summer down there. So the timing's usually rough with NBA. I went to Oslo. No, I went to Oslo over the summer. Oh, I know where I went to Miami. Oh my God. Whoa, it took me like 5 minutes to remember that. That was not that long ago. That was 4 months ago. I had no clue. I honestly had no clue what I did. I went to Miami. Wow. Sorry. Drawing a blank there. It was part of my life was like missing from my brain. Yeah. And also, Mark, I don't speak Portuguese. When I went to Portugal, thank God they speak English in Lisbon fluently, because I thought Portuguese was going to be, oh, it's right next to Spain. It's going to sound like Spanish. No, sir. Italian sounds like Spanish. Portuguese is alien language. They might as well be speaking Independence Day language. No clue. Not even close. Usually you can like make out the verbs and relate it to another language, especially like I speak Spanish, but the way that verbs are the way that verbs are conjugated in Italian and Spanish is very similar, but Portuguese, it's not even close, man. They going to Brazil, I imagine, especially if you're going to parts that are not like Sao Paulo or Rio, where they don't speak a whole bunch of English, I'd just be lost, man. Lost. I know more Japanese right now. I've been studying my Japanese, like konnichiwa, sumimasen, dokawa, train, toilet, you know, the important things like where's the bathroom? Where's the toilet? Where's the train? Where's the hospital? Where's the beer? Just I've learned the very important things to in case I get lost or something. And they get offended if you say they are the same. Yeah, that I believe that. They are not. I thought they might be, but I would never say that publicly to them. But it certainly was not. But in Lisbon, they speak beautiful English. Oh, might as well be in America. Portugal is fantastic country. Oh my God. Can't wait to go back. That's one of the best vacations I've ever taken. All right, people. No, I'm flying Bolton. I'm flying into Tokyo. I'll spend a couple days there. Then I'm going down to ITO, like Kawana area, to play golf. And then I'm going up to Kyoto and Osaka. And then back to Tokyo. I'm there 2 weeks, so I'll be bouncing. Start in Tokyo, do that for 4 or 5 days. Then I'm staying in like the heart of the old Kyoto too, not near the train station where all the nice hotels are. I'm going like doing the real thing. Do I know any German? 9. I just like saying Bastian Schweinsteiger, the best name on planet Earth to say. Bastian Schweinsteiger. On that note, good time for me to sign off. Let's go get ready for the draft. I also need to go get my groceries. Hope you guys stay cool out there in the world. Mark, good to talk to you, man. Hope all is well. See you guys.